Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Maricar Sison, and today I'm going to discuss to you the form and style in thesis writing.
The text or body of a research paper, thesis, or dissertation consists of 5 chapters. These are Chapter 1, the problem, rationale, and background; Chapter 2, related literature review; Chapter 3, methodology for the descriptive research, and materials and methods for the experimental research; Chapter 4, results and discussion; and Chapter 5, summary of findings, conclusions, and recommendations. There are 3 chapter headings in the research paper, thesis, and dissertation. These are number 1, middle heading; 2, left side heading; and number 3, paragraph heading. The first level heading of a research paper, thesis, and dissertation is the middle heading. It is placed at the center of a page and all letters are in capital letters. If the title is more than one line, the second line forms an inverted pyramid. The chapter number is Arabic numeral. The first line starts 3 single spaces after the middle heading and it is indented 7 spaces. The succeeding lines are all double-spaced. Font size 12, Arial, or Courier New are applicable to encode the research paper, thesis, and dissertation because the letter's size is almost the same with a Pica typewriter. Times New Roman font is not applicable because the font size is small, similar with Elite typewriter. There are only 5 middle headings in the whole text of a research paper, thesis, and dissertation. They are all written in capital letters with 5 single spaces before and 3 single spaces after it. The 5 middle headings are Chapter 1, the problem, rationale, and background; Chapter 2, related literature review; Chapter 3, methodology for descriptive research, materials and methods for experimental research; Chapter 4, results and discussions; and Chapter 5, summary of findings, conclusions, and recommendations. Next is the left side heading. Left side heading is the second level heading of a research paper, thesis, and dissertation. As stated earlier, there may be many left side headings in a chapter. The left side headings in Chapter 1 are statement of the problem, number 2, hypothesis, number 3, theoretical or conceptual framework, number 4, significance of the study, number 5, the scope and limitations of study, number 6, definition of key terms, and 7, justification of the present study. For Chapter 2 headings, we have related legal basis, related literature, and related studies. Chapter 3 left side headings for descriptive design are number 1, research design; 2, determination of sample size if sample survey; 3, sampling design and techniques if sample survey; 4, the subjects or the respondents; 5, the research instrument; 6, validation of the research instrument; 7, data gathering procedure; 8, data processing method; and number 9 is statistical treatment. For experimental design, Chapter 3 left side headings are number 1, research method; 2, materials and ingredients; 3, equipment and utensils; 4, procedure; 5, evaluation of the products; and 6, statistical treatment. Chapter 4 left side headings depend upon the specific research questions. Chapter 5 left side headings are number 1, summary of findings; 2, conclusions; and number 3, recommendations. The left side heading is placed 3 single spaces from the last sentence before it and 2 single spaces from the sentences after it. It is aligned with the left margin and all words are bold. Only the first letter of each word of noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, and adverb are capitalized. Articles, preposition, and conjunction are not capitalized. The length of the first line is 35 spaces. The second and succeeding lines are 2 spaces, hanging indentation, and also bold. The indentation of the paragraph after left side heading is 7 spaces. So look at the illustration given. Next is paragraph heading. Paragraph heading is the third level heading of a research paper, thesis, and dissertation. It is stated earlier that a chapter has a few or no paragraph heading at all. This is placed 2 single spaces after the last sentence. Indented 5 spaces. All words are italic and bold. The first letter of a word is capitalized, ends with a period, and the text or body starts in the same line. Okay, now look at the given illustration of the third level headings. Documentation is important in writing a research paper, thesis, and dissertation to determine how many research works were done and what were used as references. Research paper, thesis, and dissertation are worthless without documentation to serve as proof of what the investigator has read and used as source materials. Statements directly or indirectly quoted for primary or secondary sources must be cited and acknowledged to provide accurate information and give credit to the author. A researcher who fails to cite and acknowledges ideas taken from other sources of his research paper, thesis, and dissertation commits grave offense of plagiarism or infringement for violating RA 8293 known as Intellectual Property Code of the Philippines. This is an act wherein a writer uses or copies the passages, ideas, writings, and statements of others without giving them due credit. There are 2 kinds of notes in documenting source materials. These are the endnotes and footnotes. In this lesson, endnotes are explained comprehensively because majority of the educational institutions apply endnotes in documenting research paper, thesis, and dissertation. Endnotes refers to notes indicated at the beginning or at the end of a sentence in parenthetical documentation format. There are 3 formats of endnotes. These are author year page, and author page format. The researcher uses only one endnotes format to have uniformity of the form and style in documenting source materials. If he uses author year format in chapter 1, he has to use author year format throughout the text of a research paper, thesis, or dissertation. Remember that there is only one listing and surnames of principal authors are arranged in alphabetical order. For encoding the references, remember that there are 5 single spaces before writing or encoding the heading for references, and then followed by 3 single spaces. Now look at the illustration for the format for title page. That's all from now. Thank you and keep safe.